Hi everyone! I just wanted to hop on here today because I have been getting a lot of questions and direct messages about my health journey, where I'm at in it, how things are going, if I've received a diagnosis, all the good things. So I wanted to hop on here today and let you all know that I have in fact received a diagnosis. I do have Crohn's disease. I was diagnosed with Crohn's in May of this year after about 8 to 9 months of jumping through medical hoops. It's the best way I can put it. I had 60 different tests ran on me, and as well as seeing 12 different doctors. So I think it was my 13th doctor that gave me the official diagnosis of Crohn's disease. If you're wondering what I was actually dealing with and going through that kind of led to getting this diagnosis, it started out as really intense nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, those episodes that I was having. That led to me seeing a neurologist and getting a diagnosis and treatment for non-epileptic seizures. There was still a lot of unknowns. I still had to get a brain MRI where it honestly looked completely, totally structurally fine, and they gave me the diagnosis of the non-epileptic seizures after we got that scan back. So a week before our wedding, on October 8th or so, our wedding was the 13th, my anticonvulsant meds went from 100 milligrams a day up to 400. I did turn into a complete zombie. Like, the meds that I was on, I couldn't think, I couldn't communicate. I was talking and would be saying the wrong words. That it was starting to become scary in its own sense, that I felt like I was losing my brain and my ability to speak and communicate. And that went on for about the full 3 or 4 months that I was on the meds. The whole time I was in a zombie mode and just constantly zoned out, just a fraction of who I used to be. And I think every single person around me could tell and didn't know how to ask what was actually going on. In January and February kicked off the intense pain that I started getting. So it started up here under my right side rib cage and was just an intense cramping at all times. Made it so I wasn't hungry, didn't want to eat, didn't really want to do anything, but would still kind of be able to if I forced myself to. And then within about 2 weeks of the initial pain, I had that intense pain going from here up and under my ribs all through this right side of my stomach, and just the worst pain I've had. We went to the ER, didn't get much help, went to more primary care physicians, doctor after doctor after doctor, who just kept saying, we don't know what's happening, we don't know how to help you. The labs were coming back inconclusive. We don't know exactly what's going on still, but we can rule this, this, and this out through all the tests that we've done so far. We ended up going to the ER 3 different times and ended up seeing 13 doctors total before I officially received my diagnosis. And then I got a third referral to an OHSU dermatologist because the first 2 dermatologists that I saw in Bend, we just weren't getting much help with. When I went to go see the OHSU dermatologist, I had already been to the ER 3 times. I had already seen, he was going to be my 12th doctor that I had seen. So I was this close to canceling my dermatology appointment because I had had it set back when I had first lost all of my hair. And at this point I was like, I don't care about my hair. I don't care one bit that I don't have hair right now. I care that I'm in intense pain. I was unable to care for myself. I was unable to care for my daughter. I couldn't make it to the bathroom on my own. I couldn't eat. I couldn't keep water down. Just miserable. I was a miserable shell of a person. So when it came to the dermatologist, I was like, why would I go here? But my husband was like, no, we really need to go to the derm. You just need to get it done with. We don't want to reschedule. Just stay on top of your appointments. So we went and we had a 2-hour appointment with a dermatology resident where he listened to every single thing that had been going on, taking notes the whole time diligently. During this time, I had ulcers that were coming through my mouth, the inside of my mouth to the outside. They were breaking through skin. So I had all this scarring and open wounds here. I had ulcers on my nose here. I had one here that I think you can still see the scar from around this area that had come through my skin. So he's looking at all of this and he goes, you know what, I've actually sent all these notes and everything over to the chief of dermatology here at OHSU, and I'm gonna go speak with him really quick and then I'll be right back. We were in the room for maybe 5 minutes before the resident, my doctor, and the chief of dermatology for OHSU came back in. The chief of derm sat down and he said that whenever he sees all of these things kind of happening together, that it is actually either typically ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease. That those are the most common diagnoses that he sees with my symptoms that are currently going on. I didn't know that it was even typically diagnosed in your 20s to 30s. I thought if you had it from a child on. I had a lot of misconceptions about Crohn's disease. He was very firm, very adamant that that's what he thought. He was like, I really think you have Crohn's disease and I really would like to get you in to see a GI. Everything that he had said was backed up by my GI. They agreed that everything looked to be Crohn's or a different IBD issue that was going on. So at that point I had an upper and a lower endoscopy ordered for me. I got both of those done and they were able to see definite signs of Crohn's as well as 2 ulcers for sure that they were able to see through the camera that they were going to leave and monitor to see how I'm improving over these next 6 months to a year. And they removed a large precancerous polyp. So I had lots of different things going on in my stomach, but the biggest thing is that I for sure had the signs of Crohn's, specifically in my ileum and small intestine. Fast forward to late April, early May, I get to see my GI again. At this point, I've been following a Crohn's diet and kind of like lifestyle choices for the past 2 months since it was originally brought up that it could be Crohn's, and I've seen a vast improvement. But I do still have pretty constant flare-ups. The diet has seemed to be helping, but there's still nutrients that I'm not absorbing properly, and I was actually very malnourished and not getting proper nutrients or like the digestive support that I needed from around our wedding time through about February, when I had lost about 30 pounds total without doing anything. The past couple months has been really focused on getting those nutrients, getting my weight up a little bit, getting back to kind of how I was like managing before, but with my new diet changes in effect, staying active, doing all those things. I've definitely noticed a huge improvement, but not an improvement enough to where my doctor doesn't think that I need to go on immunosuppressant therapy. So chances are that we will start IV immunosuppressant therapy within the next 6 months. I'm trying to wrap my head around that, trying to get used to that idea and thought process, because she did say it will most likely be a lifelong medication that I'm on. So that's where I'm at right now in all of this craziness. Just kind of waiting it out to see when we're going to start therapy. Working through my new diet and lifestyle, getting back into the swing of things here. As you can see, a lot of my hair is growing back, my eyelashes, my eyebrows, the majority of my hair besides like a couple little spots like here and there, and I think I have one in the back. Things are going a lot better, life is better, and now we're just working to make those improvements to get me to where I really need to be. So thank you everyone so much for checking in, for reaching out, for being concerned, for caring. I'm very thankful for the community that I've grown through Instagram and TikTok. I'm so thankful that I've been fortunate enough to be able to share my story, and the connections that I've made with people going through similar struggles is astounding to me. So if you are struggling, please know that you're not alone. If there's any questions that I didn't answer or that you want more info on, if you want to know what tests I had ran to kind of get to this diagnosis, feel free to ask me anything. I want to be as open as possible with this and this journey and where I'm at with it. I appreciate you all so much, and I'm excited to give you another update in the future, and hopefully we're doing amazing. Hopefully therapy's going great. And we're just making the strides that we need to. So thank you.